What if I told you that the person eating the pizza on the right might actually absorb more nutrients and store less body fat than the person eating the organic salad on the left? It sounds like nutritional heresy. We have been trained to worship the ingredient list. We obsess over gluten, dairy, macros, and calories. But we have completely ignored the context of consumption. Are not metabolically broken. You are, likely, suffering from sympathetic indigestion. You are trying to fuel a body that is currently in survival mode. Today, I am going to prove to you that the state of your nervous system during a meal dictates your biochemistry more than the food itself. We are going to cover the Pillars, 4 pillars of mindful metabolism. We will go deep into the hormonal signals of cortisol and insulin, the enzymatic power of saliva, and the vagus nerve hack that can double your digestion speed. If you fix these, you can often eat more food and lose weight. If you ignore them, even the strictest diet will fail you. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Wellness Waves. I'm Dr. Sight. Today's about congruence, aligning your psychology with your physiology. I see this patient every day. Maybe this is you. You are the perfect eater. You meal prep. You track macros. You avoid seed oils, but you are chronically bloated. You have unexplained fatigue after lunch. You have a stubborn layer of visceral fat that won't budge. Despite hitting the gym, this creates a dangerous psychological spiral. You think, I'm not strict enough, so you restrict more. You stress more. Listen to me. The stress about the food is often more toxic than the food itself. The biological reality, digestion, is a parasympathetic process. It is the rest and digest arm of your nervous system. Evolutionarily, you cannot digest food while running from a tiger. Your body is smart. It shuts down the gut to save energy for your muscles. The problem is, your body cannot tell the difference between a tiger and an angry email, or a stressful podcast or traffic. If you eat while stressed, your gut is effectively closed for business. Pillar number 1. The vagus nerve and the cephalic phase. The foreplay of digestion. Why first? This is the invisible step that happens before food touches your lips. Most people miss this entirely. We start with the brain. Digestion does not start in the stomach. It starts in the mind. This is called the cephalic phase, the science of anticipation. When you see food and smell food, your brain sends a signal via the vagus nerve to your gut. This is the data highway between your brain and your belly. Salivary glands activate enzymes like amylase, stomach acid, HCl. Production begins sterilization. Pancreas is primed to release insulin. This prepares the furnace for the fuel. The modern mistake. When we grab a protein bar and eat it while rushing to a meeting or while scrolling TikTok, we bypass the cephalic phase. We throw food into a cold furnace. The result? The food sits there. It creates putrefaction, rotting of proteins, and fermentation, rotting of carbs. This is a primary driver of SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and massive bloating. The protocol: you must romance your food. Look at it. Smell it. Take 30 seconds to acknowledge the meal before the first bite. This signals your vagus nerve to open the pyloric sphincter and allow digestion to flow. Pillar #2. The cortisol-insulin connection. Why stress eating stores fat? Why second? Explaining the hormonal why behind the weight retention. Now, let's talk about the chemical environment. This is the secret assassin of weight loss. If you are eating in a state of high stress, sympathetic state, your cortisol is elevated, the mechanism of fat storage. Cortisol's job is to mobilize sugar for energy to run away from danger. Insulin's job is to store sugar. When you eat under stress, you have high cortisol and high insulin. This specific combination screams at your body. Store this energy as visceral fat around the organs. Why? Because your body thinks you are in a long-term survival crisis. It packs fat around your liver and kidneys as a reserve. Fuel source. This is why you can eat a low-calorie salad while stressed and gain weight, versus eating a higher-calorie meal while relaxed and maintaining weight. The hormonal signal overrides the calorie content. The protocol, the vagal break. Before every meal, perform the 4-7-8 breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do this 3 times. This physically forces your nervous system out of fight or flight and reroutes blood flow from your extremities back to your stomach. Pillar #3. The mechanical breakdown, the surface area equation. Why third? Moving from hormones to physical mechanics. This is actionable immediately. We have optimized the brain and hormones. Now, the mechanics. I want you to repeat this mantra. My stomach has no teeth. The surface area science. Digestion is a chemical reaction. Enzymes need to touch the food to break it down. If you swallow a chunk of steak the size of a dice, the enzymes can only work on the outside of that square. The inside remains undigested. If you chew that steak into a paste, you increase the surface area by 1000%. The enzymes can saturate the food instantly. The leaky gut. Consequence: if you swallow large chunks, the snake meal, undigested proteins hit the small intestine. Your immune system sees these large proteins not as food, but as foreign invaders. It launches an attack. This is inflammation. Suddenly, you think you are allergic to gluten or dairy. Often, you aren't allergic. You just didn't digest it. You didn't chew it. The protocol. The applesauce texture. Chew your food until it is liquid. For a steak, this might be 30 to 40 chews. For rice, 20 chews. Put your fork down between bites. If you are holding your fork while chewing, you are unconsciously rushing to the next bite. Pillar #4. The environmental trigger, the Pavlovian screen response. Why last? The hardest habit to break. Finally, the environment. We live in the age of the desktop lunch and the TV dinner. This is distracted eating. The satiety signal, leptin lag. There is a 20-minute delay between your stomach being full and your brain knowing it. When you are watching a screen, your brain is processing the video, not the food. You miss the stop signal. Studies show distracted eaters consume 10 to 25% more calories in a sitting and feel less satisfied. The protocol. Single tasking. When you eat, you just eat. It feels boring at first. That boredom is good. It allows your brain to register the pleasure and satiety of the food. Try it for 1 meal a day. Just you and the food. Watch your bloating disappear. What if you do all of this and still feel bad? Here is the advanced troubleshooting guide. Point 1. Low stomach acid. If you are over 40 or have been stressed for years, you might not produce enough acid. Try Bitni HCl or a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water 15 minutes before a meal to prime the pump. Point 2. The post-meal walk. Muscles are a glucose sink. If you walk for just 10 minutes after a meal, your muscles soak up the sugar from your blood without needing a massive insulin spike. This prevents the post-lunch coma. We have covered a lot today. Cephalic phase. Romance to food. Nervous system. Breathe to lower cortisol. Chewing. Liquid texture before swallowing. Environment. No screens. You can spend thousands on supplements and organic food. But if you don't master how you eat, you are throwing that money away. Health is not just biochemistry. It is behavior. Here is my challenge to you. Pick one meal tomorrow. Lunch or dinner. Eat it in silence. Chew until liquid. Breathe before you start. Come back and comment below. I felt the difference. because I promise you, you will. I'm Dr. Sight. Stay well. Stay congruent.